Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I want to share something with you out of the book of Exodus, chapter 21. Now these are the rules that you shall set before them. When you buy a Hebrew slave, he shall serve 6 years, and in the 7th he shall go out free, for nothing. If he comes in single, he shall go out single. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master gives him a wife, and she bears him sons or daughters, then the wife, her children, shall be her master's, and he shall go out free. Now, check this out. Verse 5, this is what I want to look at. But if the slave plainly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him to God, and he shall bring him to the door or the doorposts, and his master shall bore his ear with an awl, and he shall be his slave forever. The other day I was looking through some old pictures at the house. We had some friends over, and the yearbooks got broken out, and that's always a scary moment. But we were looking at some old pictures back in high school, and if I didn't think you'd have a heart attack, I'd show you some of them, but it was kind of scary. I was looking at them, and I was just laughing. I was like, man, I look like a punk, and I look like a geek, whatever it was. I went through a couple phases, and I was sitting there, and I just started thinking. I was like, when people see me today, what do they think? And I don't mean, wow, is he good looking? I'm not talking about that at all, but what I am talking about is as I've grown more, both in age and then just in maturity in my faith, something I've become more cautious of is, what do people see of my character when they look at me? When they look at me, do they see somebody that's just putting on a show, that's just putting on an act, or do they see somebody that truly cares and truly wants to talk to people and be involved in people's lives? And just what exactly do people see when they look at me? Do they see Christ in me? I was looking through Exodus, and I came across this about the slaves. And what would happen is somebody would get, I guess, get in trouble with the law or whatever, and the court system would go through, and they would say, okay, your penalty is 6 years of slavery to this person. And they would go and they would be a slave to him for 6 years. Or maybe they just got bought. Maybe somebody sold them into slavery. And when their term of slavery, typically 6 years, ended, they were able to go free. If they upheld everything, they were able to go free, and the master would say, okay, your time's up. There's a door. You can go free. And the slave at that time could just grab his bag and walk out. But if the slave loved his master and loved where he was serving, he could say, I don't want to go free. I love him. I love my master. I don't want to serve him. Then it says that he would take him before God and take him and bring him to the doorpost, and he would drive an awl or a nail or a needle through his ear. And that would mark him as a free slave that's given his life up to follow and to serve his master. Now this God would be the governing body in the area, take him back to the courts and say, hey, his time's up, but he's free and he wants to stay. Is this approved? And they would approve it. And then they would take him to the doorpost, and they would nail him at the doorpost, because at the doorpost, that's the threshold into the house. That's the entrance into the house. And that slave is saying, I want to stay inside this threshold. I don't ever want to go out, because the last part of that verse 6, the last part says, he will be a slave forever. And so they would do it at the doorpost and say, I never want to cross this doorpost. I want to stay in my master's house and serve him with all that I have. And people could see this slave, and they would see this piercing in his ear, and they would say, oh, he serves his master. He's given himself freely. He's not paying a debt. He's not trying to earn anything. He's freely said, I want to live my life for his master. When people look at you, when people see you walking down the street, do they say, hey man, that guy right there, you can tell. He looks like it. You can see it in his face and the way he lives his life. He's living for his master. That girl, man, she is sold out. She is a slave. She is sold out to her king, King Jesus. What do people see about your character when they look at you? I pray that they see Christ. I pray that they see somebody that's just said, here's my life, God. Thank you for giving it to me. I want to turn around and I just want to give it back to you with all that I am. I come to serve you. Do what you can with me. Live out Christ in your life. Hope you have a great day. Love you.